Hey guys, welcome to the Homestead. So today I thought I'd come in and show you my garden, what's going on with the soil right now. It's the end of the season. We've had about 2 months with no rain. It's very dry out here. It's been a bad gardening year for a lot of people. But I wanted to share my soil with you because usually at the end of the season, and people who have put ground cloths on their garden like I do, I've taken up all my ground cloth off the garden right now. And we're getting ready to, again, add more lasagna layering to the garden. People will say that their ground is really hard and really dry and hard. And my garden still, when you walk on it, feels like a waterbed. It feels very soft and supple, and the ground is very easy to manipulate if you need to. But it's because of all the lasagna layering I've added to it. Added lots of hay, and I put the ground cloth on so it doesn't seed and I don't get a lot of weeds. But I put lots of different types of manures or additives, things like the garden, like leaves and rice hulls. I'm going to add lots of rice hulls this fall to my garden, and I'm going to add lots of more hay and just different things that will break down and continue to allow the biodiversity and bacteria and different things in the ground to break those materials down and create good, fertile soil. And so I just want to show you real quick. If I just dig down into this ground here, it's just dirt. I can dig down and the ground is very, there's just lots of dirt, easy to manipulate. It's very soft. I can reach down into the soil and pull the soil up. And so it's still very soft, and that's because I use lasagna layering. I never ever till my soil. Never till your soil. The only time I recommend tilling your soil is if it's a first-year garden. First-year gardens, especially in the Ozarks, the ground can be hard, and you want to break up that soil to allow oxygen and water to penetrate into that ground. I also recommend getting lots of red wiggler worms and adding those to your garden, especially in the springtime, because those red wigglers will continue to almost till your soil for you. But the first year garden, you can till. After that, just lasagna layer, and you'll always have a soft, supple soil that you can dig down in with your hand and pull the dirt out. It's very dry right now. Most of the worms have all gone down deep because of the dryness, because there's no moisture, and so that's where they are. But in the late spring, early summer, I challenge anyone to come out to my garden and not pull up a handful of dirt. You will have worms in your hand. There's always tons of worms because they reproduce, and they're always creating more worms, and they love it. I also add coffee grounds to my soil. I'm a coffee drinker, and I save all my coffee grounds, and the worms and other biodiversity too just love the coffee grounds. And I always save my coffee grounds in a bucket and then add those throughout the year, especially in the fall and spring, to my garden, and I put that in my soil. And so right now what I've got going in my garden is I have some potatoes left. I planted some summer potatoes, and there's good potatoes under here. I've dug a few of them up. I have some in pots, and there's some potatoes in there, but I've actually harvested a good amount of potatoes already. I'm going to keep these in the ground and in the buckets until I need them. But I've got lots of potatoes growing, but everything else has been basically taken up out of the garden. It's been a hard year. My tomatoes did not grow well this year. A lot of you guys experienced a lot of the drought. There's a drought map that I saw the other day, and it shows that most of the Midwest is in major drought conditions right now. It's just weird. It's been a weird year, and hopefully next year will be better. But the way you get started on that now is to go ahead and add things like these different materials to your garden and layer them on there, and allow that stuff to break down over the winter time. And then if you want to put ground cloth over the top of it in the spring after you plant or before you plant, then go ahead and do that. And that ground cloth will keep the weeds down and also help retain moisture in your garden as well. Again, just a weird year this year. Tomatoes, I hardly got any tomatoes that got ripe this year. The plants had a hard time getting started this year. I just pulled all my tomato plants out and harvested a good amount of green tomatoes, and so tonight we're going to have fried green tomatoes. I got lots of large green tomatoes, so tonight it's fried green tomatoes for dinner. But you just make do with what you got. But Anyway, the whole point I'm trying to make is keep your ground soft and supple by lasagna layering. And if you do that every year, your ground's gonna just be soft and you can easily dig down into it with your own hands. And that makes for good soil. Another thing I always recommend for people to do is to help promote good biodiversity in your soil is to plant mycelium. There's a company out there called Field and Forest. I don't get any kickbacks for you using them. I've used their products for years. I plant wine cap mushrooms in my garden. I'll dig down in the spring or in the fall. Fall coming up with if you guys are getting rains now in the fall, hopefully the fall rains will start coming soon. You can dig down in your soil, dig a hole, and then put some mycelium in the hole and then cover it back up. And then those wine cap mushrooms or other mycelium from mushrooms that you buy can help basically establish mycelium colonies throughout your ground, and that will help feed the root nodules of your plants. It's a great way. If you guys, one of the key indicators of a good garden and good gardening soil is having mycelium in it. If you have mushrooms growing in your garden, some sort of healthy fungus growing in your garden, that's a good key indicator that you have a good soil. And so I definitely recommend growing mycelium and putting mushrooms in your garden. Wine caps are some of my favorites because they're definitely edible, and they're great tasting, and they help your other plants grow and be healthy. So anyway, that's what we got going on in the garden right now. It's the end of the season, and I got, like I said, potatoes still, but that's about it. I got a fig tree right there. It's got some nice figs on it. I've been eating some of the figs on that, and they taste wonderful. I never knew anything really about figs other than fig Newtons until I became a homesteader, and I love figs. And so I'm going to take that tree, and this fall I'm going to basically cut it back a little bit, and then I'm going to dig down and I'm going to split the root ball of that, and then I'm going to take half that root ball, pull it out, and plant it next to it, and I'll put another fig tree next to it, and that'll grow as well. And so I learned that from a master gardener a number of years ago. I did a video on a master gardener, and he actually gave me that root ball there. And the way you split, you can always do starts. Starts using you can make new cuttings off of fig trees and do starts that way. But a really easy way to quickly establish a tree is to get an established tree like that, a fig tree, split the root ball, split one half of the root ball, pull it out, and then plant it somewhere else, and gives it a really good head start. You're taking a already established tree and moving it. Anyway, that's what I'm going to do, and we'll see how next year goes. Hopefully next year will be a better year for gardening. This year was just absolutely horrible. Absolutely horrible. I'll come over to this fig tree here real quick and see. Oh yeah, there's a couple good figs on there. There's one. Oh, here's a good one here. Nice, soft fig. If you don't know anything about figs, figs are basically an inverted flower. So what you're seeing there on the inside of that fig is a flower that's inverted, and the flower is the fruit. Way better than any fig Newton you're ever going to buy at the store. That's just fantastic. Okay, people like, Zach, I don't like it when you eat food on camera and smack your lips. Well, go find another channel then. All right, hope you guys had a good growing season. If it was like mine, it was probably pretty frustrating, but next year's a new year, so good luck. See you next time on the Homestead. Bye. Hey guys, I'm happy to introduce an American Homestead sponsor, Zervita Zeal. Now, first off, I only accept sponsors from products that I use and believe in. My family uses Zeal mainly because we want to ensure a healthy immune system. You see, it's made up of only whole food concentrates and includes no artificial colors, flavors, or preservatives. The included sweetener is all natural from fruit and the stevia leaf. It's gluten-free, it's vegan, and it's kosher. In 2018, my youngest son was involved in a bike accident that resulted in the surgical removal of his spleen, and that's an important part of his immune system.
And because we live on a farm, you can guess that having a healthy immune system for our family is very important. Some of the included ingredients are beetroot, chicory root, turmeric, moringa, blueberries, cranberry, goji berry, milk thistle, ginseng, alfalfa, broccoli, and so much more. It's these natural ingredients that can easily be made into a powerful and tasty drink that my family can make and feel good about. So sign up and give it a try today. Every purchase you make goes to help the homestead so that we can continue to make great homesteading videos for you. Link is in the description below. Go ahead, give it a try. Hey guys, did you know you can become a patron of an American homestead? They get access to private videos, and we send them gifts from the homestead that we make here on the homestead. And we also enter our patrons into special giveaways that are only available to them. And before you go, please check out these other great videos. Go ahead, click. I'll wait.